Most of the time, when people talk about Africa and the diaspora, they mostly resume it to culture, music, fashion, food, identity, history, creativity, and so on. All of those matters, of course, but another story is now becoming harder to ignore. Africa and Afro-Global builders are not only creating culture, they are creating infrastructure. They are building payment systems, business tools, talent networks, media platform, trade systems, financial products, and new ways for people, company, and the market to connect. That is what leads us to talk about Flutterwave in today's episode. Flutterwave is not just a payment company. It is not only a Nigerian fintech startup, it is one of the clearest examples of bigger shift happening across the Afro-Global world. Flutterwave shows how a company can move from solving one business problem to becoming part of the system other businesses use. So today we are not only asking what is Flutterwave, we are asking deeper SenKofa question. What does Flutterwave reveal about African fintech, Afro-global commerce, and the infrastructure the Black world will need in the next decade? Because here is the real point. If money cannot move, business cannot move too. And if business cannot move, opportunity cannot move also. This point is very important to keep in mind. Welcome to SenKofa, the intelligence for the Afro-Global world. Here we study who is building what across Africa, the Americas, the Caribbean, Europe, and the wider diaspora. We study builders, companies, industries, regions, opportunities, and the system shaping the Afro-Global future. SenKofa is not here only to celebrate success. We are here to understand success. When we understand who is building, what they are building, how it works, where it operates, and why it matters, we begin to see the Afro-Global world differently. We stop seeing it only as a cultural community and start seeing it as a network of builders, markets, ideas, talent, and opportunity. Allow me to remember you the three reasons why Flutterwave deserves attention. First one, it has become one of the most recognized fintech company to come out of Africa. Second, Flutterwave have described its reach as more than 35 countries and more than 150 currencies. Third reason, it gives businesses, developers, and individual tools to accept payments, send money, create voices, use payment links, connect APIs, and move value across markets. And we are studying Flutterwave because its growth reveals something deeper. African companies are not longer only using global infrastructure. Some of them are becoming infrastructure. That is the frame for today. We are not just looking at a company, we are looking at a system. If you are a founder, entrepreneur, investor, professional, company, organization, or builder, this story gives you a practical lesson. Strong business often begin with friction. Something is slow, of course, expensive, fragmented, difficult, or disconnected. Then a builder asks a better question. Can I build a system that makes it easier? And Flutterwave is one answer to that question. To understand Flutterwave, we need to understand the bigger picture. Africa is not only a continent of consumers. Africa is becoming a continent of builders. Across the continent, entrepreneurs are building tools for payments, logistics, health, education, culture, agriculture, energy, media, commerce, and so on. But many of these builders face the same problem: infrastructure. A business can have a good product, of course, but if it cannot receive payments, it cannot grow. And it is true. A brand can have customers in different countries, but if those customers cannot pay easily, the opportunity is blocked. A developer can build a strong platform, but if the payments integration is too complicated, the product becomes harder to scale. A diaspora customer may be want to support an African business, but if the payment experience is difficult, the connection breaks. This is why payments infrastructure matter because they are not only about card, bank transfer, mobile money. They help people buy, sell, and connect to different markets. So when SenKofa study Flutterwave, we do not only see a fintech company, we see a larger question: who is building the financial rails that Afro-Global business will use to trade? This question matters because the Afro-Global world is already connected emotionally, but emotional connection is only the first layer. The next layer is economic connection, and that is so important. Can Afro-Caribbean customer buy from an African designer easily? Can African creator get paid by a global audience? Can a black-owned business in Europe work with a supplier in Nigeria? Can a diaspora professional support a company in Ghana? Can African startups serve users outside its home country? These questions are not only cultural but also infrastructural. That is why Flutterwave belongs inside the Afro-Global story. It helps us understand that connection cannot remain only emotional or symbolic. If people, businesses, and markets are going to work together, they need systems that make commerce easier, safer, and let us remind something. Flutterwave was founded in 2016, and one of its central leaders is Olubenga Abola, co-founder and CEO of the company, of course. His leadership matters because Flutterwave is not a simple app story. It is an infrastructure story, and infrastructure companies are not built only with inspiration. They require technical knowledge, regulatory understanding, trust, partnership, execution, and patience. Because payments companies must work with banks, merchants, developers, customers, regulators, and global partners, it must understand money movement, risk, compliance, local markets, customers' behaviors, and businesses' operation. That's why the builders matters. At SenKofa, we do not only ask what the company does. We also ask what kind of builder saw the problem and decided to build it. Companies do not appear from anywhere. They are created by people who see friction before others take it seriously. And Flutterwave's builder insight is clear. Africa does not only need more businesses. Africa needs the infrastructure that allows those businesses to operate at scale. So what does Flutterwave build? In simple terms, it helps businesses accept payments, send money, create payment links, send invoices, process transfer, use APIs, and most value across markets. This matters because customers do not all pay the same way. Some use card, some use bank transfers, some use mobile money, some use wallets, and some use local payment options. Some also pay from another country or in other currency. For business, that complexity can become a barrier. Flutterwave try to sit in the middle of that complexity by giving businesses one connected layer for collection, payment, checkout, invoices, payment links, and APIs integration. So the real product is not only payment, the real product is simplification. But in digital commerce, the easier it is to pay, the easier it is to serve. In many markets, businesses want to sell online, serve customers, reach new countries, and receive payment from different places. But the payment experience can be difficult for many reasons. One customer may want mobile money, Another may want a card. Another may prefer bank transfer. Another may be in a different countries or currency. And another may not trust the checkout experience. That's why for the customers, friction creates doubt. For the business, friction creates lost revenue. For the wider economy, friction slow trade. This is especially important in the Afro-Global world because the Afro-Global world is spread across Africa, the Caribbean, North America, Latin America, Europe, the Middle East, and many other places. People may be connected culturally, but if money cannot move, the connection remains incomplete. So Flutterwave is not only solving a technical problem, it's solving a connection problem. It helps businesses reach customers, and it helps customers reach businesses. That is the deeper problem, not just payments, but what? Movement. Flutterwave's business model is connected to financial infrastructure. The company can create value through payments, processing, translations-based services, business tools, and money movement product. The deeper point is this: infrastructure companies grow when other businesses depend on them. If a merchant uses Flutterwave to collect payments, Flutterwave become part of that merchant's sales process. If a company uses Flutterwave to pay vendors or contractors, Flutterwave becomes part of that company's operation. This is why payment infrastructure can become powerful. It does not only serve one industry, it can serve e-commerce, travels, hospitality, education, events, marketplaces, digital services, remittances, and fintech platform. So Flutterwave's business model is not only about one payment product, it is about becoming a financial layer that many businesses can build on. That is the SenKofa insight. The strongest company do not only sell to people, they become useful to the system those people are building. Flutterwave's story begins with Africa, especially Nigeria. Its ambition is bigger than a country. The company works across many markets and supports many currencies. That geographic layer matters because Africa is not a single market. Africa has many countries. Africa has many currencies, many banking systems, many mobile money ecosystems, many customers' behaviors, many languages, and many payment habits. So, building payments infrastructure in Africa is not simple. A payments company must understand local realities and still create tools that can work across borders. That is why geography is intelligence. When Flutterwave expand into more countries, support more currencies, or build more partnership, it is not only expanding on a map, it's connecting different economic environments. Now, let's place Flutterwave inside its industry. Flutterwave belongs to Fintech, and in Africa, the Fintech landscape is competitive. Flutterwave operates alongside banks and global payment companies. So, Flutterwave does not operate in an empty space. It operates in a crowded and highly regulated industry. We must take it in account because payments are sensitive. People need trust. People need trust. Business needs reliability. Regulator needs compliance. Banks need partnership, and customers need security. So the industry landscape tells us something important. Africa FinTech is not only about apps. It is about trust, infrastructure, and scale. Flutterwave's growth show how a company can move through stages. First, it's identify a deep problem, then build a useful solution, serve early customers, expand product expand geographically, raises capital, and become part of the ecosystem. One major milestone came in 2022 when Flutterwave announced a $215 million Series D, founding around at a valuation of over $3 billion. But at SenKofa, we do not look at funding only as hyper. We ask what this capital allow the company to build. Can it improve reliability, expand across markets, handle regulation, build trust, support across borders commerce, and create tools that African and the Afro-Global business actually need? Growth is not only about numbers. Growth is about usefulness. Funding is not the destination. Infrastructure is the destination. No serious company grows without challenges. And the payment companies face some of the hardest challenges. The first challenge is regulation, because every country has its own rules. So when a company operates across borders, compliance becomes complex. The second challenge is trust, because people must trust that their money is safe. Business must trust that payments will settle, and the regulators must trust that the payment is following the rule. The third challenge is fraud prevention. Where money moves, fraud attempts follow. Payment company must protect customers, detect suspicious activity, and build systems that can handle risk. The fourth challenge is reliability. If a payment system failed, a business can lose sales immediately. So speed and success rates matters. The fifth challenge is competition. Flutterwave is not alone because it competes with other startups in the same industry, banks, and infrastructure companies. Sixth challenge is market education. Not every merchant understands digital payments. Not every customer trusts online checkout. And not every market moves at the same speed. This matters because we should not turn Flutterwaves into a simple success story. The real story is more serious. Building payment infrastructure is powerful, but it is also difficult. It requires technology and constant execution. So, what does Flutterwaves really mean for the Afro-Global world? It shows that payments infrastructure is not just technology. It shows that payment infrastructure is not just technology, because culture connects people emotionally, but infrastructure connects people economically, and the Afro-Global world needs both. Flutterwave reveals a deeper shift in African fintech. This is why Flutterwaves reveals something bigger than itself. It reveals the need for connected infrastructure, and that opens a larger opportunity. For founders, the opportunity is to build on top of stronger rails. For investors, the opportunity is to understand infrastructure companies before the market fully recognizes them. For organizations, the opportunity is partnership. And for the diaspora, the opportunity is economic connection. Because the diaspora does not only need to send remittances, it can buy from African companies, invest in African businesses, support, create a joint platform, and build cross-border services. But this only works when infrastructure exists. That is why the opportunity is not only fintech. The opportunity is Afro-Global commerce, and the commerce needs system. This is exactly the kind of company SenKofa wants to understand. When we map company like Flutterwave, we are not only profiling businesses, we are mapping the infrastructure of the Afro-Global future. Now, let's turn this story into a practical lesson. The cheat code from Flutterwave is simple. Do not start only by asking what business you can create. Start by asking where the friction is. Where do people struggle every day? Where do business lose time? Where do customers give up? Where do markets fail to connect? Where is trust missing? Where is access missing? Where is the system too complicated? That is where builders should look. Flutterwaves did not become important because payments are fashionable. It became important because payments are necessary. This is a major lesson. Necessary problems create strong opportunity. People may like entertainment, but they need payment. They may like inspiration, but they need infrastructure. They may like ideas, but they need system. So if you want to build something, do not only chase what look excited. Study what people depend on. Study repeated problems. Study friction. Then ask yourself a practical question. Can I build a tool, a service, system, a network, or an infrastructure layer that makes life easier for other people? The second lesson is this: the best businesses often help other people build. Flutterwave helps businesses collect money, send money, and operate digitally. So the company's value grows when its customers grow. Then, if you can build something that helps other builders build, you are not only creating a product, you are creating leverage. Now, here is the next step you need to do. If you are a founder, entrepreneur, investor in organization, professional, or ecosystem builder, this channel is built especially for you, because our main exciting reason is simple: to help you discover more Afro-Global builders, companies, and organizations somewhere across Africa, the Americas, the Caribbean, Europe, and the wider diaspora. Someone is building something you may need to know. It may be a company to partner with, a builder to follow, an industry to understand, a market to study, or an opportunity to watch. And if you are someone who wants to start something but feel stuck, do not just watch this video and move on. Take the lesson. Ask yourself what friction you see around you, who suffers from it, why it has not been solved, and what simple system you could build to make it easier. That question may be the beginning of your own builder journey. To help you do that and make it easy for you, I drop a template in the description below. You can download it for free. And also subscribe to SenKofa Afro-Global View to this channel, because this is not a one video project. Every video helps us map another builder, another company, another industry, another region, another opportunity inside the Afro-Global world. Payments are one system, but there are others industries like logistics, media, education, talent, capital, travel, legal services, data, AI tools, marketplaces, professional networks, and research platform. The Afro-Global world does not only need more attention, it needs infrastructure. This is the SenKofa Afro-Global View, intelligence for the Afro-Global world. We help you discover who is building what, where, how, and why it matters. Today's lesson from Flutterwave is clear. If money cannot move, business cannot move too. And if business cannot move, opportunity cannot move. The builders who create infrastructure do more than building companies. They create the rails that other builders use to reach the future. This is SenKofa. We are mapping the Afro-Global world. One builder, one company, one industry, and one story at a time. See you.